homeschool. It's got fun and games like countdown and some arts and crafts, science, nature, and lots of numeracy, maths and art and literacy, cooking, music, geography. Mr. Bletcher's homeschool is full of fun and games.
Good morning and welcome to Mr. Bletcher Homeschool. No, it is not the middle of winter. It's just a very bad hair day, but this has managed to fix it. Right, moving on. We would normally start with early bird maths. We're going to move to something else, a few brain teasers this time. We've got 2 maths brain teasers, and the clue is think about it. So one brain teaser will appear. Feel free to pause the video, then have a go at the next one. Let's see what you got. Now it's time for our commercial break. We've got some adverts to show. Remember, if I've talked about shout outs for you this week, there was going to be some today, it's going to be tomorrow. So if I'd say, wow, that deserves a shout out, that will be in tomorrow's episode. If you could do me a favour and like the video as well, that helps a lot. It helps get the video out to other learners as well, which is really, really appreciated. So, like the video, enjoy your adverts.
Do you want to miss out on a lifetime opportunity? What? No? Well then try Banana Munch, the most nutritious cereal yet. Only $1.99. What a bargain. Wow. Get the munch, eat the bunch.
Bada bing, bada bong, bada boom. Choco berries are delightful. Chocolate hoops with scrundilyumptious raspberries and super sweet strawberries. It comes with free edible glitter to make your cereal sparkle, and it really makes your day.
Is your cereal bowl looking plain and empty? Come buy the Rainbow Edition Crunchy Candy Delight. It is full of vitamins and minerals. All the kids love it, even their parents. Come buy it now, only $2.99 per box. This is such a bargain. What? Buy it now.
Now time for a game of countdown. We're going to play 2 different games of countdown. The first one is the usual maths game of countdown, which will appear in a moment. Then the second game of countdown is the countdown conundrum. We've not done it on the channel yet on Mr. Bletcher Homeschool. The way the conundrum works is I will give you a mishmash of letters. All of those letters must be used to make one word. There's one word I'm looking for. I won't give you the answer today. That will come tomorrow. So, 2 games of countdown. The math special and the conundrum. Off you go. What a fantastic job you all did with the maths yesterday, using a timetable, using data to work out what you needed to work out. Well, we're looking at data again, this time under the world of Pokemon. Pokemon has lots of statistics and data, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some statistics, some data. It is then your job to answer some questions based on that data. Look very carefully at it so you don't miss anything out either, because there's lots of different data for the Pokemon we're looking at today. So, analyze the data, look at the questions, then head back to the data to see if you can work out the question. Literacy, and I just want to say well done with your work on prefixes yesterday. The amount of prefixes and words you were able to come up with was absolutely fantastic, so well done. Now we've looked at the prefix, the start, the group of letters before a root word. Now we're looking at the suffix. You got it. Yeah, it's another spag lesson. So I'm going to go through a couple of suffixes, then I'm going to give you some tasks for you to have a go at. Let's take a look at this. We have the word terror. Eyes is the suffix. Place the root word and the suffix together to make terrorise. It makes the word mean something different. It makes a completely different word and it means something different. We have another one here. We have the word active. The suffix is ate and that makes activate. Now look carefully. Think about what's different about this one. Have you thought about it? Have you seen it? Yes, the spelling changes. When we add the suffix ate, we need to drop this e to make activate. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some tasks to complete. Then after that, I'm going to give you some root words and some suffixes. You've got to match them up and work out which root word goes with which suffix. Good luck. Back to our reading, back to the explorer, but before we do that, it's actually time to do the activity first, then listen to the story, because the activity is prediction. Prediction, you've got to think about what's happening in the future. Think about when your grown-ups are predicting the lottery every week, and they're not very good at that, are they? Go on, go and find your grown-up, and tell them that they're not very good at predicting the lottery, and when they do get good at it, tell them to let me know. Okay, that would be great. Anyway, take a look at the picture that's about to appear. Then take a look at the question. Okay, can you make a prediction based on this picture? Then we'll read on the story. Fire. The grubs, when mixed with the cocoa beans and pounded with a clean stick, turned into a paste, which, if you squinted and were of an optimistic temperament, looked like flour and water. Now we just make a fire and cook them, said Fred. Just, said Con. We need flint, said Fred. We need kindling, said Lila. And matches, said Con. I'll do the kindling, said Fred. Most of the wood surrounding them had dried since the rain the night before. He held the hem of his cricket jumper in his teeth and made a hammock for the wood. The night in the jungle had not improved the taste of the wool. He came back to the clearing and tipped the wood into a pile, a few paces away from the den. There were flints in there, said Lila. We could rub away the moss and use them to make a spark. Flints don't go off. Flints aren't enough by themselves, said Fred. I've tried. You need a bit of steel. Lila ducked into the den to fetch the flint. Con was staring at Fred's watch. What's that made of? Fred stared down at the watch, covering it protectively with his hand. Glass and steel, he said. My father gave it to me when I went to boarding school. But it's broken, said Con. I know that, he said. So, said Con, if it's broken, it's not really a watch anymore, is it? But what it is a lump of steel. Fred jerked his hand back. His father never bought his birthday gifts. He left it to his secretary to take Fred to Harrods and pick out something sensible. This was the only gift Fred could remember his father choosing himself. He had had it engraved with Fred's initials. Lila nodded. It might be the only way, she said. Her voice had sympathy in it, but grit too. Fine, said Fred. He had an unaccountable, absurd need to cry. Fine, we'll use it. Can I have first try? Asked Con. It's my watch. I know, but I've never lit a fire before, she said. Not even the ones in the fireplaces at home. Not even on bonfire night, Fred asked. Not allowed. There was longing and hunger in her eyes. She looked away from him, turning the flint over and over in her hand, as if it was a jewel. There was something written in her face, Fred thought. Something in a code he couldn't begin to read. Here. Slowly, he undid the strap. He held the watch in his fist, surreptitiously tracing the letters on the back of his thumb. Con watched in silence. He put it in her palm. I get second go. Right, so, was your prediction true? I know the prediction I thought, what I was thinking in my head, I wasn't right. Maybe you were, and if you were correct, let me know those lottery numbers at the weekend, yes? Thank you very much. Today, a subject that blows the mind. You ever just look up at the night sky and just think, wow, like, I'm really small in context of everything. I am so tiny. Think about how that galaxy just goes on forever, and you just think, wow, how insignificant am I in all of this? It's amazing, this solar system. So, what I want you to do is we're going to do a little bit of research today about the solar system. I've linked a video below from National Geographic, and they've made their own Solar System 101, which gives you a great wealth of information on the solar system. But, oh no, my fact file has a problem. I'm going to show you my fact file. It's missing information because I'm not as clever as you, so I need your help. My fact file is discussing, it's got information on the planets in the solar system, but there are things missing. I need you to do a little bit of research, maybe look for an encyclopedia. If you've got any books at home that would help. If you've got, you've got access to the internet because you're watching me. Hi! Find some useful websites. Can you fill in the blanks to complete my fact file and make me a very happy teacher? Okay? Here's the fact file I need help with. Can you give me some help?
Word of the day. Devoid.
What is the definition? Can you use the word in a sentence?
The look on her face was devoid of emotion.
Mr. Bletcher's homeschool. It's got fun and games like countdown and some arts and crafts, science, nature, and lots of numeracy, maths and art and literacy, cooking, music, geography. Mr. Bletcher's homeschool is full of fun and games.